What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Oh, I forgot the clap. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button. Stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays content. Today is not going to be a Teachable Tuesday shorts video, although this video is going to be relatively shorter than usual. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about intermittent fasting, what that is, my experience with it, and my thought process behind it in general, right? So intermittent fasting, let me go ahead and explain what that is. Some of you guys may have heard of that term, some of you guys may have not. So intermittent fasting is when you are taking a prolonged period of time from not consuming any calories, okay? Now, as you know, there are a lot of calories in a lot of different things. And the misconception that people have is that just because it's a liquid, it doesn't have calories. That is false, okay? In fact, most liquids have calories. The only liquids that don't really have any calories at all is tea, if you don't add anything to it, certain types of coffee, if you don't add anything to it, and, of course, H2O, aqua, water, all that good stuff, right? Even if something says 5 or 10 calories, it still counts as calories. Now, why is this important? Well, in order to understand that, you have to understand the process of intermittent fasting. So when you are intermittent fasting, excuse me, what is taking place is your body is essentially on shutdown mode. What I mean by shutdown mode is your body is in a state of recovery. It's not consuming any calories, it's not consuming any energy, but what it's doing is when you fast, your body typically burns through a lot of the stored fat that's in your system. So one thing that intermittent fasting does as far as the science behind it all, and if I miss out anything, feel free to add more in the comments below. I'm just telling you guys really the bare basics right now, is it allows your body to be at a state of recovery in a sense. The more, or should I say, the longer that you go without eating. Now, I'm not saying starve yourself. Please don't starve yourself. I'm not saying that. And also, before you do any form of intermittent fasting or anything similar to that, make sure you consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. So I don't want people saying, oh, well, Marcus from Teachable Tuesdays told me this. No. All right. I'm just telling you my experience. I'm telling you the basic science behind it. Always consult your doctor before you begin anything as far as restrictions to your diet, changes in the lifestyle, because your doctor knows what's best for you based on your body type and based on so many other factors. But anyways, back to my point. Basically, the longer you go without eating when you're fasting, the more your body not only burns off the fat that's stored in, it also allows your body to kind of get rid of things that it no longer needs. Because when it comes to the cells in our body, our cells are always attempting to repair itself. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're able to recover from injuries at some point. That's why we're also able to lose weight if we're doing the right things to lose weight, and so on and so forth, right? So what happens when you're not eating after a while? Well, your body uses its fat reserves and it starts burning through those fat reserves. So when you are consistently fasting, what happens is that stored fat that you have, it's being eaten up, because if nothing is going to your body has to use its reserves in order to give you some form of energy so it can function. So how does that play a part when it comes to intermittent fasting? I believe that it plays a part with intermittent fasting because it also shrinks the window in which but it shrinks the window in terms of the calories that you consume, right? So, for example, let's say you do a 16-8, which is the typical protocol for intermittent fasting. I think that's like kind of the set standard, where you fast for 16 hours and you have an 8-hour window to eat and consume all of your calories. What that does is that puts you on a limitation, because that 8-hour window, you're not finna be eating like eating the whole garage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are really going to be consuming a lot of calories, but once that window's closed, that's it. You can't have anything in terms of calorie intake. So I think that helps a lot with the discipline aspect. And I think that also helps eliminate unnecessary calories. Now, granted, you still have to have the right mindset to feel like, okay, I'm going to eat the right things. Of course, that plays a factor. But I'm saying all that to say that it definitely does help. I'll give you an example. This may sound small, but it's kind of a big deal in the grand scheme of things. So I'm not a heavy juice drinker. That's just not really me. These days, I haven't really been into juice as much. But I would drink juice from time to time. I don't really drink juice much anymore, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And the reason being is because the only time I technically would drink juice would be in the morning, and I would, have some orange juice. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that's been cut out because the way my work schedule is, and by the time I get home, because I work 2 jobs for the majority of the week, a lot of times by the time I get home, it's like about 7 o'clock. So I don't eat till about 7:30. So after I eat, my fasting session begins. And I do it 12-12. You know what I'm saying? 12 hours of fasting, 12-hour window to eat. And by the time those 12 hours are up, I'm already in my first period teaching. So therefore, I can't really eat right then and there. You know what I'm saying? I could, but I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to break my fast with just something small. I'm going to break my fast. Well, it might be small, but I'm going to break my fast with whatever I had scheduled to break my fast with. So if it's a protein shake, it's a protein shake. If it's an actual breakfast meal, it's an actual breakfast meal. You know what I'm saying? But what that does is that eliminates a lot of unnecessary stuff for me. And also, sometimes I'll end up fasting more than 12 hours. Like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, started fasting at 7:30 at night, right? My fast was over at 7:30 in the morning. I didn't eat anything until 10:30 when I had my protein shake yesterday. So I did 15 hours of fasting. So I'm saying all that to say that in some cases, you might actually fast a little longer than what you intended to, which that's not a bad thing either. So I think it really does help place the calories in the right place. Of course, you got to be mindful of what you eat and go about doing it the right way in general. You know what I'm saying? But also, I think it's a good way to burn fat. Intermittent fasting, studies have shown that intermittent fasting is good with weight loss. I've lost quite a bit of weight, and I think in part of that is because of intermittent fasting and trying to do it more consistently. Last month, I almost successfully intermittent fasted for an entire month for the first time ever in my life. There was only one day that I fell off, and it's because I was sick. And I had drunk some body armor, and it wasn't the low sugar kind. It was like the regular kind. Has like about 110 calories. That counts. So unfortunately, my fast was broken within an 8-hour span. But and so far every day as of this month of this recording, that is, I've intermittent fasted every day at least for 12 hours or more. So there's a lot of health benefits behind it. And more importantly, I think that it really helps out from my experiences with discipline in terms of what you eat, how you consume your calories, and so on and so forth. And plus, it also prevents you from eating so late. And if you do eat late, you know that you're not going to eat again until late. So if I don't eat till 11 o'clock at night, which is what I typically avoid trying to do, I know that I'm not eating at least until 11 o'clock the next morning, and it is what it is. And I'll tell you one thing, just as a heads up, especially if you're the type of person that works out in the morning and you wake up in the morning, maybe because of work, maybe because of working out or whatever, intermittent fasting can get difficult the longer that you stay up. So like, I'll give you an example. I might eat at 8 o'clock at night, go to bed at 9, and I won't be able to eat till 8 o'clock the next morning. If it's a weekday, you better believe that's probably going to be like 10 o'clock during my planning period. That means I'm going to have 14 hours I'm not going to be able to eat. If I wake up early that next morning, like say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'm burning calories, which is good to burn calories while you're intermittent fasting, believe it or not. And, you shouldn't work out with a heavy stomach anyways. If you're going to eat something before you work out, make sure you eat something light that'll give you just enough energy. But that helps me burn even more fat, because not only is my body working off of its fat reserves, but I'm burning calories while it's working off of its fat reserves during intermittent fasting. So, and besides, even if you don't intermittent fast, I think you should still work out before you eat your breakfast if you work out in the morning. Now, if you typically work out in the evenings, obviously that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Which in that case, make sure you eat something at least a little light to get you to the workout, something carb related. Carbs before workout are perfectly fine. Just depends on which carbs you're eating. But yeah, so, let me know below I don't want this video to go too long, but let me know below what your intermittent fasting experience has been like, if you do intermittent fasting, or if you've done intermittent fasting before. If you have not, what's the reason you haven't done it? Is it because you just haven't gotten around to it? Is it because that's not your thing? Is it because that's the way that, your body is not working? I was talking to a colleague of mine a couple days ago, and, she told me, intermittent fasting don't really quite work for her, the way her, her system is set up. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as you have some form of system in place that makes it good for your lifestyle, even if it's not intermittent fasting, ultimately that's what matters. All right? So again, Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification button. And please understand, I have a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of content coming your way over these next couple of weeks. So make sure you have those notifications turned on. Sometimes YouTube likes to turn it off. Make sure you turn it back on if you want to stay tuned for everything. Love you guys. Have a great day.